Have you been waiting a while to be able to adopt a child? Let's have an honest conversation about why that might be that you are still waiting to adopt. Hi, we're going to talk about that today on All About Adoption. If we haven't had the opportunity to meet, I'm Stephanie A., and I'm the founder and executive director here at Adoption and Beyond, where we have helped thousands of families build their family through adoption. And we have a step-by-step process that we would love to share with you as well. So let's jump right into why you may still be waiting to adopt a child. And I'm going to boil this down to one simple term: your preferences for the child that you hope to adopt. You may find that those are limiting you and then your adoption opportunities. So the first one is not being open to the mental health background of the expecting family. I think it's really important that when you're looking at would you be willing to accept expecting parents who have mental health issues. It could be anxiety, depression, it could be bipolar, it could be more extreme mental health issues. So looking at those preferences, and now I want you to stop and look at your own family and look at what mental health issues are in your own family. And so it's really important that you not make that too narrow based on looking at your own family. You will find there's anxiety, there's depression, there may be bipolar and as well. So keep those things in mind when you're choosing mental health, and just know that a lot of the birth families who are looking at placing their child for adoption are experiencing anxiety, depression, because making an adoption plan will create those things in yourself. So just know that you really should be open to, at minimum, those two mental health issues. Not being open to in utero substance exposure. I know it's really hard for families to think about, drug use and different things like that while a mom is pregnant, because you may ultimately would not choose to do that for yourself. But just know a lot of those issues are really out of the birth parent's control, and in terms of the addictions that they're experiencing. And also, it's just really important to know, how do these drugs really affect the child? And so it's really important to do research. There are different websites that will be able to help you determine those things. And I think you'll find, actually, you'll be surprised at what the effects are and what the effects are not on a baby. So considering looking at that a little bit deeper as you're choosing those preferences. Being gender specific will significantly limit you. There are very few babies available for adoption compared to how many adoptive families are hoping to adopt, especially for a baby. It's challenging enough. I think that there is more likely now 60 families for every mother who is considering placing her child for adoption. So that's very limiting in of itself. And then if you're going to limit yourself to a specific gender, you are narrowing yourself even further and making it even more difficult and more challenging. So I encourage families to be open to either gender, just like you would with pregnancy as well. Also, what can limit families is their racial preferences. Now, I'm not saying that families should go out and adopt a child that's not right for their family, or they don't feel that they can properly give the child the tools that they need for the racial mixture that they are. But just know that there is a lot of education and training on how to be an effective parent of a child transracially. So just know that limiting your acceptance as a family to race can be expanding the time that it takes to be able to adopt a child. You may just find that you need to have a better adoption profile, especially if you did your own adoption profile, which I don't recommend doing. I recommend that you hire an adoption professional who is experienced in knowing what expecting moms and expecting birth parents are looking for in an adoptive family, and are able to help present you in the best way possible. And so you may find that you just may simply need to just update your profile. And the last thing is that you may not be working with enough adoption professionals. You may find that you signed up with a local adoption agency in your backyard and you have found yourself just sitting there and waiting. We recommend that you work with more than one adoption professional. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to increase your adoption costs by that much, because if you work with the right adoption professionals, they'll give you the tools and they'll let you know of the resources that you can sign up with. And so that way you can have multiple adoption professionals working on your behalf to help you find an adoption opportunity. So I hope you have found this helpful and why you may be still waiting to adopt and areas that you may find that you want to adjust to help maybe limit the wait time. So I hope you found this helpful, and just know that you are in the right place to receive the support that you need to build your family in the way that you want. Thanks so much. Bye.